Vegas Scoreboard Express, Saturday and Sunday morning at 6 on KSHP North Las Vegas, FM, AM, K29, 6HP North Las Vegas, and KSHP.com.
Keep it locked with your boy on the ones and twos, going in on the wheels of steel.
You're listening to the boss of the big ball.
Outside, no man is safe from Vegas Scoreboard. That's how I'm living.
That's how we do it. That's just the way it is.
That's the reason why I came to you.
Drink and women and money.
Good morning, Las Vegas. All of our sports bettors around the world. You know what time it is. It's prime time. That's what time it is. JB the Ticket, Vegas Scoreboard Express, live early in the morning here with you this Sunday. NFL football on deck. Got the picks for you, Vegas Scoreboard Express. You can follow me on Instagram at JB the Ticket. I got my main man on the line with me, Jeff Dawson from the East Coast Sports Investors. He's going to be rocking with us this morning, giving us the picks that are going to be putting the cash in your pocket. Good morning, Jeff. How you doing?
Well, JB, good morning to you. Late night on the East Coast with prime time. Let's just tell the listeners out there that today it won't be personal, okay?
Today it's not personal. It's all about the cash. And again, thank you guys for tuning in every Saturday and Sunday, 6 a.m. to 7 a.m. right here on 107.1 FM KSHP. That's right. He's coming in, the King of Cape Cod, Jeff Dawson, East Coast Sports Investors. We're going to be breaking down some of the college action that happened yesterday. The dogs were barking, and we gave you some grease that could put cash in your pocket, so you guys are going to want to stay tuned. And then, of course, I've got him coming up. My main man, Scotty, beam him up, Webb from the East Coast Sports Investors, going to be coming on in the half hour, bringing you the baseball picks and some more NFL action. So, Jeff, you hang on the line with me. When I get back from this short commercial break, we are going to be bringing nothing but the grease. So I'm telling you guys right now, it's time to wake up early. Push it. And let's get the money.
You're listening to the
money. Go get the money. Go get the money. Go get the money. Go get the money. Go get the money.
JB the Ticket.
You are rocking with the hottest. Put your hands up for the boss. The Mix Master is live. Get ready.
Giving you that grease.
Go get the money. 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 Go get the money.
Kick off the football season with Drizzly.com. Score big with your favorite drinks delivered right to your doorstep. From ice cold brews to game day cocktails, we've got the perfect lineup for your football gatherings. Visit VegasScoreboardExpress.com and click the Drizzly. Now let's get the party started. Drink responsibly. Must be of legal drinking age. Delivery and availability may vary. Skip your cable bill this month and join the action with JB and Fubo TV. Get 7 days free, 15% off your first month. No credit check, no deposit, no installation hassle. Go to FuboTV.com/JB. Sign up, download the app, and start watching games.
Enjoy being a subscriber after the first month. Easy cancellation anytime. Regional restrictions apply. Sign up at VegasScoreboardExpress.com.
Come on, man. And with the local DBC news, LL Cool J with a triumphant comeback.
You're listening to the boss of the big ball.
But tonight, don't call it a comeback.
JB the Ticket, Vegas Scoreboard Express back on the live with you this morning. Don't call it a comeback. My main man, prime time, gave you the grease last night. Double overtime win over Colorado State. Because his mama told him how to bring you the grease. Not worried about what you got on your face. Got my main man, Jeff Dawson, on the line with me here. East Coast Sports Investors. Jeff, good morning. Thank you so much. You can tell I'm super duper excited. Also want to give a shout out to the music, hip hop, 50 years old. LL Cool J, and all the hip-hop luminaries are riding around the country. A lot of them last night were in Boulder for that amazing win again, the Colorado Buffaloes. Do you guys believe now? I told you about these guys back in July. If you guys are listening to the show, again, you can follow me on Instagram at JBTheTicket and also listen to us on Spotify, Apple, and TuneIn. And my main man, Jeff Dawson, follow him over on Instagram at EastCoast Sports Investors. So let's talk about it, Jeff. Last night, the money was rang up. It was an expensive money line. You'd have to spend about $2,000 to win about $250, $275. But this was a hard-fought win for the Colorado Buffaloes. Again, I will give credit where credit is due. Shout out to the Rams of Colorado State. They had us sweating the whole time, man, and we sweat for about 4 or 5 hours, double overtime. But again, this was the key. Shedeur Sanders. I told you guys early on, take him for the Heisman. Plus 10,000. You can't lose. With Deion Sanders' young son out there, 98-yard drive, 37 seconds. Nobody else is doing it better in the country. Go ahead, Jeff. I'll let you jump on some of this grease. Let's talk about it.
Real tough spot for Colorado. I mean, opening day, 20-point underdogs winning TCU. But then the home opener last week against Nebraska. And back in our day, JB, that was the Friday after Thanksgiving must-watch TV, Colorado and Nebraska. So now they're trying to bring that back to life. But an easy spot for a letdown there. Very chippy, as everyone saw on the pregame. Hats off to Colorado State. They played their butts up. Real cheap hit on Travis Hunter. Hope he gets well soon. But, 3-0. Football couldn't have asked for anything more. I mean, you can't turn anywhere without seeing prime time.
I'm telling you.
It'll be must-see TV next afternoon. Next Saturday afternoon. At least us guys from the East Coast don't have to wait till 10 p.m. It's going to be in the afternoon at least next week.
Well, I'm telling you, man, I almost woke up late this morning. I got up right on at 5 o'clock. Shout out to all my military and first responders. You guys know JB used to do some push-ups a long time ago. But, yeah, my body's just conditioned to it. But, yeah, I stayed up. I watched this game. It was a thriller. And that's something that college football has been missing. Now, I just want to ask you, because the Pac-12 is breaking up, and I was listening this morning to a show on ESPN Radio here in Las Vegas before I came in. Shout out to the colleagues out there doing what we do. Las Vegas is a super sports city. I'm also going to be talking about our running Rebels. Those Rebels brought home the money line yesterday. Yes, and I was there at the game. Shout out my main man, Mark Hayes. Dog was barking. That's right. And I like that young quarterback that came in for Maivia. This guy was balling. He came in for Brumfeld. Brumfeld unfortunately got hurt. Ran out of the pocket. Our guy took a cheap shot. But let's finish up here with this Colorado game. So next week they go out to Oregon. Now this one is going to be a super dog. I actually got an early line from my friends over at Paramount Plus / CBS Sports Line. They hooked me up early. Plus 16 next week for Coach Prime. So if they do go money line, I'm thinking somewhere around 700-800. Oregon's going to be tough. And when I saw them play yesterday, I just said, man, Oregon is obliterating each and every team that they play. But again, the Pac-12 is breaking up. But this is, as I mentioned to each and every one of you listeners out there in Las Vegas, a resume year. Every single team that is moving on to another conference is playing lights out. Washington yesterday absolutely obliterated Michigan State. Michigan State's got a ton of problems. These guys, the coach got sent away for doing bad things. But the Pac-12, USC, Oregon is coming up for Colorado. Jeff, what are your thoughts here? Early line on the spread, plus 16. Do you think Colorado gets inside of that? And not to mention the injury to Travis Hunter, the number one two-way player in the nation. Go ahead.
It's going to be interesting to see where that number goes because the public's all in on Colorado in prime time. So that's I think it'll be a pros versus Joes, public versus sharps here. I just, for me, it's as easy as just go run into the window and taking the Oregon team total over I'll be interested to see what that's at. It'll be 40 and change, whatever it is. I mean, just to see the caliber of QBs that they face so far. Now you're going to step up to a Bo Nix this week, and then a Khalid next week. So it's just, can Colorado keep it close? I think the story's been great. I think the true end of the line here will probably be, hey, can we be over 500, and can we get to a bowl game? And I just like initially.
Oh, Jeff, you just took away the grease. You just took away the grease. Look, this is the way I look at it. They're playing tough college football in the Pac-12. One win over either USC or Oregon, and we know that these guys play with a lot of faith and a lot of heart. Somehow win by one, lose by none. Coach Prime, College Football Championship Series, that playoff. Do you think that he can get Colorado there? And there's one stalwart that I do worry about in the Pac-12, and we're talking about Washington. Huskies, they're not a dog that's barking. These guys are running the Iditarod over people yesterday. Like I said, they beat Michigan State 41-7. So the tests are now there. But I think Colorado's a battle-tested team. They haven't had easy wins. They've had to fight for every single win they have. And they have, again, he's not getting enough credit for it. Everybody's talking about Jalen Daniels yesterday. Cost me a ton of money with that Michigan State. Mississippi State early. Another home dog that was not barking. Dog had nothing but fleas, and they got obliterated. But everyone's talking about him. Caleb Williams, Michael Penix. Nobody is talking about Shedeur Sanders. And I'm telling you right now, this guy's a baller. He will put cash in your pocket. You can continue to bet on Shedeur. Shiloh on the other side, his other brother, playing on the defensive side of the ball, that forced fumble in the red zone yesterday. I mean, I'm telling you, these guys are true 4- and 5-star guys playing up to their maximum potential. And when you have a team that's playing football in that manner, they're very dangerous for teams that are expected to win. Now, yesterday, again, Colorado State, nobody expected them to get inside of that big spread. I did worry a little bit about it. I said, you know what? It's that Rocky Mountain, battle similar to what we have here in Nevada for the Cannon. But when you talk about it from that perspective, do you think that, again, the players on Colorado, you could see that they believe? Do you feel that that's going to now start having other teams, the opposing teams, not so much bite back at Coach Prime and what he's doing? Because, again, like I said, that Coach Norville yesterday talking all that junk about the glasses and, what his parents taught him. Coach Prime showed him. And those players showed him. Shedeur showed him. The defense really stepped up, played ball, got an interception at the end in the end zone. Double overtime. I mean, that's called closing out games. And they take advantage of your mistakes. If you go 3 and out on these guys, they have the ability to clearly come down the field and score. So, again, which game do you think coming up in the next 2 weeks is going to be the most difficult for the Colorado Buffaloes? And then we'll take a short commercial break and then come back and get into some of this NFL. Jeff, thank you so much. I know I've been talking a lot, but go ahead. Your thoughts on this Colorado team. Very impressive win last night.
Yeah, and by the way, JB, my preseason Pac-12 winner was Washington, and keep an eye on Penix. But I think this week will be the eye-opener heading to Eugene. I think that they'll have their first loss. Then I think they do come back home for USC, probably be about 11, 12-point underdogs at home. So this week is the start, JB.
That's what I'm talking about. My main man, Jeff Dawson, telling you that the dogs are barking. You guys keep it locked here. A lot of college football dogs yesterday got under. Nobody could call security. The dogs were loose. And they were packing up and stacking up. But there were a couple of dogs with fleas that kind of squawked through there and cost you a few dollars, blew up your ticket. But again, you guys keep it locked with me. JB the Ticket and Vegas Scoreboard Express. When I come back, I'm going to have Jeff on the line with you. We're going to break down some of this NFL action. A couple of dogs that are on the list that I really like today, and I'm going to be sure to tell you where you can put your cash and where you can keep it. Getting it back at the window. Jeff, any shout-outs before I take this break? Go ahead.
Shout out to our man, my main man, Mr. Pop DiBiase at Prime Wave Media. There you go, Prime Wave Media.
That's what I'm talking about, Prime Wave Media. See, we were already working with the Prime. My main man, Pop DiBiase. Got to get you on the show, man. You got to get up early. to get on the show with JB the Ticket and drop some grease. So like I said before, we get back from this short commercial break. More money, all sports, all football, no bull. JB the Ticket, it's time to get it.
You're listening to the boss of the big ball, JB the Ticket. Vegas Scoreboard Express. Giving you that grease. Skip your cable bill this month and join the action with JB and Fubo TV. Get 7 days free, 15% off your first month. No credit check, no deposit, no installation hassle. Go to FuboTV.com/JB. Sign up, download the app, and start watching games.
Enjoy being a subscriber after the first month. Easy cancellation anytime. Regional restrictions apply. Sign up at VegasScoreboardExpress.com.
Shopping is always easy with the Radio Shopping Show. Whether it's shopping during any one of our live shows right here on AM 1400 or listening live on the KSHP app, you can always call in at 702-221-7283 to pick up great deals with your favorite host. Or shop 24/7 at KSHP.com. Go to KSHP.com and select Shopper's Guide to browse hundreds of businesses featured on the show. Place your order online and we'll have it shipped right to your front door. With so many possibilities, it's hard not to shop.
You're tuned into the VSX Digital Sports Network.
If you need help, hang up and then dial the operator.
You're listening to the boss of the big bar.
If you have money, you can buy anything.
JB the Ticket.
More fire, more heat.
Vegas Scoreboard Express. Giving you that grease.
I'm back on the line with you. Got my main man, Jeff Dawson, EastCoast Sports Investors. Jeff, you still here with us? Go ahead.
Loud and clear, my brother.
That's what I'm talking about. Again, you guys can watch these games live today on Fubo TV. Go to FuboTV.com/JB. I'm giving you 15% off and 7 days free. So let's jump into it, man. The NFL is on deck. It is time to make some money and put cash in your pocket. I believe the dogs are barking this morning. Earlier on in the week, the dog was barking. New York Jets took down that money line at home over the Buffalo Bills, and another thriller. Man, it's been a pretty good football season to start off. Wouldn't you say? College has been exciting. NFL's been exciting. A lot of thrilling games. Again, you don't want to miss these games. If you want to get all the games, I got NFL Red Zone for you right there on that Fubo TV offer, FuboTV.com/JB. So again, Jeff, it is a very good football season. Dogs have been live. You got to start taking them individual. That's something I got to do today, man. I do too many parlays. What I like to call prayer tickets, you know. Shout out to all my Jewish listeners out there. I know you guys are having a special holiday. Thank you guys so much for waking up early in the morning listening to JB the Ticket and Vegas Scoreboard Express. But yes, I'm telling you right now, man, it is one of those situations in football where teams have more parity. And the lines are going to be blessing us for at least the next 2-3 weeks before we get into heavy conference play in college and heavy divisional play in the NFL. But some of the lines that we have today, I want to talk about them early. Our Las Vegas Raiders, they're flying out to Buffalo this morning. Early game, 1 p.m. Eastern time, 10 a.m. Pacific, +8, rotation number 273. The Las Vegas Raiders, new Las Vegas Raiders, got Jimmy Garoppolo playing some good football, took down that win last week in Denver, and now they're going up to a Buffalo Bills team that looked pretty hapless. And the Monday Night Football game, short week for Buffalo. I like that the Raiders had a full week of practice and rest. Full team roster. Everybody is ready to go. Buffalo -8, rotation number 274. They're already 0-1 and 0-1 against the spread. So when you talk about it from that perspective, The Las Vegas Raiders coming in, again, like I told you guys this past summer, very quiet, not a lot of fanfare, just went into training camp, and I think they're putting together a team that can gel. As far as the point spread goes, I think that +8 is mighty juicy on the spread. And again, this game being brought to you by our friends over at BetUS. So, Jeff, talk to me a little bit about this one, because I know I didn't have it on the betting board that I emailed you, but it was very interesting after this past Monday. Go ahead.
Yeah, home opener for Bills, as you said, short week, lose on Monday night to an Aaron Rodgers-less New York Jets team and a Las Vegas team that was just kind of sort of snuck in through the back door almost, defeating Denver, which was kind of surprising to most of us. Now do the old travel west to east on the 1 o'clock start that usually never bodes well. A number that opened up at 9.5 and it's trickled down to 8, and I actually have in our spreadsheet right now some 7.5. It's our good friends at South Point, Mr. Chris Andrews. So money trickling in by the wise guys on Vegas today, and the 7.5, JB.
Well, I'm talking about that from the defensive side of the ball. Vegas has a stronger defense than they did last year, and they held Denver to, I think, under 20 points in that game. It was a win by one, lose by none situation, but nevertheless, the defense were able to get stops and keep them honest. Talking about rotation number 273, Las Vegas Raiders going out to Orchard Park, +8, +310 on the money line. Now, that one looks a little juicy if you can try to maybe sneak inside of that, one of these win by one, lose by none situations. And we also see that the Buffalo Bills have an absolutely atrocious special teams. Punters kicking ducks that can be returned, and I saw that a lot in the Jets game. So do you think that they had enough time in the short week? They also had an away game, again, in-state, but still travel is a little bit rough, especially when you take a loss like that, to kind of get up for this Raiders game? Or do you think that the Buffalo Bills could possibly go down 0-2 early on in the season? Go ahead.
Real bad.
This game is the most played circa Survivor and all your suicide must-win pools is the Bills to win. And, you look at this and the regression that you've seen from Josh Allen, and it's been, not just on Monday, it's been the last half of last year into the start of already this year. The loss of Mr. Daboll, you can see it. He's gone back to his Wyoming days. Do I expect the Bills to lose? I don't. I think they're going to win the game. I don't trust them, though, minus the 8, though, JB. But it's just an outright winner. You'll see them a lot of money line parlays, and you'll see a lot of teasers with the Bills today, JB.
Talking about their total, 47. I didn't see the Bills offense do absolutely anything last week. And like I said before, easy ticket blow up for you if you took them. And the Jets were able to come out again without Aaron Rodgers getting hurt. And then these guys just went cold on offense. Maybe a slight under. Vegas again, 17 points last week. Haven't seen a lot of explosiveness from Jimmy Garoppolo, Devontae Adams. They do have Josh Jacobs back in the backfield. And we saw what Breece Hall was able to do to that stagnant run defense. I mean, the Bills have always had a stagnant run defense, and that's been one of the issues that have costed a lot of bettors. So when you have a resurgent Josh Jacobs looking to just, maintain, he got the contract that he kind of maybe didn't want, but it's still good money. He can still play. Coach Prime talked about it yesterday, getting these guys that are multimillionaires up and motivated, which is one of the main reasons he's going to decide to stay in college and continue to coach. But I do think the Las Vegas Raiders can get that +8. So I'm going to tell everybody, take them in the points, okay? It's going to be a hard-fought game. Maybe a slight under, could be more defensive. I think the Bills are going to give it all they got on the defensive side of the ball. Could be a slight under, maybe a score 24-20, something like that. If the Raiders can get inside of that on the losing side, that still gets you that +8 on the spread. Moving into another game, the Kansas City Chiefs. These guys are coming in right now 0-1, unfortunately, as they lost to the Detroit Lions in their home opener, and now going down to the AFC South stalwart, the Jacksonville Jaguars. Rotation number 275, the Kansas City Chiefs. These guys are road favorites, -3, -170 on the money line. Over and under is 51. Jacksonville, rotation number 276, +3 is going to give you even money on the spread. I like that. Also, the possibility to get you that +148 on the money line. Talk to me.
Yeah, the Chiefs 0-1, losing on. Actually, they had the extra days off about 10 days ago. They lost at home to Detroit. Travis Kelce will be playing. CEH will not be playing. This line was Kansas City -1.5. As soon as they announced that Kelce was playing, it jumped to 3.5. I'm looking at an under-over of 51, JB. This has got that 27-24, 27-23, but I like that 27-24 written all over it, JB.
Telling you that you just might make a push on that total. Now, Jacksonville, they've got Trevor Lawrence. This guy has been balling. He's got Doug Peterson teaching him how to play football, and he's playing lights out, making great decisions, super accurate, very mobile. And some of the plays that I saw him make in preseason lets me know that if the game gets tight, I think he can drive these guys down the field. Who are going to be some of the key players on the Jacksonville Jaguars today that can help them get that +3? And like I said before, the value here is the money line. This is a home dog that I think is barking. The Jacksonville Jaguars +148. I think they can get it done. If it's a field goal, all they got to do is get 2 of them. Go ahead.
Yeah, offensive side, ETN looked explosive. They have a two-headed monster now with the rook, Mr. Tank Bigsby. On the wide receiver, it was kind of interesting. Calvin Ridley was who we thought he was. We were also expecting Christian Kirk. Kirk was not the other wide receiver. It was Zay Jones. He was leaning on Zay Jones. Think of the tight end, Mr. Ingram himself. Defense played very well last week in Indy. Home opener for the Jags. If I had to pick one shining moment and one shining star this week, I'm going to go back to Calvin Ridley. He was just so explosive. Kansas City does also get Chris Jones back as well on the defensive side. So it's going to be fun, going to be interesting. It's a true coin flip, but I do kind of sort of lean the dogs here.
Telling you right now, the dogs are cats that are growling. I like the Jacksonville Jaguars taking money line at home. They should be able to beat the Kansas City Chiefs. Again, Pat Mahomes, you got to worry about him. But when you got guys like Kadarius Toney, maybe he can, work out some of the issues. But again, moving along to another game, and then we're going to be bringing him on the line. Jeff, I want you to stay with me for the whole show today. You've been dropping grease, man. Jeff Dawson, East Coast Sports Investors. Follow him on Instagram at East Coast Sports Investors and go to his website, eastcoastsportsinvestors.com. I'm going to be bringing him on the line with us here shortly. My main man, Scotty Beam him up Webb, going to be talking some NFL with you, keeping these picks going live. So far, I told you, take the Raiders in the points, rotation number 273. They're out at the Buffalo Bills, and we like Jacksonville today at home as a dog that's barking and a cat that is growling, +148 on the money line. Jeff is telling you that total could be in play, might get you a push. Maybe you can find the hook somewhere, get some money. But right before the break, another dog I think is barking. Road dog going up against a home favorite that I don't think is doing too much. Cincinnati Bengals at home, rotation number 278, -3.5, giving you even money, -170 on the money line. Pretty decent price for a team that just rolled you a donut last week over at the Browns. But the Baltimore Ravens, they've got Lamar Jackson, they've got Odell Beckham Jr., and they've got a better defense, +3.5. Not going to get a better player to take some money as a road dog, +148 again. 45.5 is the total. Weather could be a factor up in Cincinnati, but you're talking about this Baltimore Ravens team who pretty much cashed out and maxed out with Lamar Jackson. He's got to go 2-0 and show that he can win on the road. Go ahead.
Yeah, Cincinnati laid a big egg. Weather was a factor in Cleveland. They come back home for their home opener. Baltimore kind of played a little grabby the first half, but opened up and played real well second half to beat the Texans. I think Lamar is 10-0-1 as a underdog that is catching 3 or 3.5 or more. Zay Flowers had an amazing week. Mark Andrews will be back for those Ravens. I do lean like you. I like the 3.5. and I definitely could smell an upset here, JB.
Telling you right now, we like the dog. Take the Baltimore Ravens on the road, plus 3.5 into points. Take a money line if you ain't scared. And when I get back from the short commercial break, we're going to have him on the line with us. Scotty, beam him up, Webb. Also from the East Coast Sports Investors. We're giving you East Coast reach today because, again, we're changing lines nationwide. Follow me on Instagram at JBTheTicket. Follow the show on my website at VegasScoreboardExpress.com. When we come back, it's straight grease, straight money. Nothing else to do but get that money. Keep it locked. Let's do it.
You're listening to the boss of the big ball. JBTHETICKET. Vegas Scoreboard Express. Giving you that grease.
Skip your cable bill this month and join the action with JB and Fubo TV. Get 7 days free, 15% off your first month. No credit check, no deposit, no installation hassle. Go to FuboTV.com/JB. Sign up, download the app, and start watching games.
Enjoy being a subscriber after the first month. Easy cancellation anytime. Regional restrictions apply. Sign up at VegasScoreboardExpress.com.
The Klondike Casino is a friendly local spot that features their signature restaurant, the Klondike Grill, serving up fresh food fast. Open for breakfast, lunch, and dinner just off the 95 freeway on Sunset Road in Henderson. You will find the Klondike Casino, featuring all your favorite games from the Strip in the comfort of a neighborhood casino. You can place a bet at their full-service sports book, or start your day with a breakfast plate that comes with your choice of potato and toast. Or check us out for lunch or dinner and try one of our many sandwiches, like the popular beer-battered fish sandwich or the Philly cheesesteak. Check out the full menu at KlondikeSunset.com.
Kick off the football season with Drizzly.com. Score big with your favorite drinks delivered right to your doorstep. From ice cold brews to game day cocktails, we've got the perfect lineup for your football gatherings. Visit VegasScoreboardExpress.com and click the Drizzly. Now let's get the party started. Drink responsibly. Must be of legal drinking age. Delivery and availability may vary.
You're listening to the boss of the big ball. JBTHETICKET. Vegas Scoreboard Express. Giving you that grease.
Time to hit them high, hit them high, hit them high. Make sure we keep those losses low, low, low. JB the Ticket, Vegas Scoreboard Express, waking you up early in the morning, the 50th anniversary of that hip-hop. You guys know I grew up in New York. We originated, brought you those beats. Shout out to my West Coast guys, too, man. Guys like Dr. Dre, DJ Quick, DJ, oh, man, what was the dude there that did all the beats? DJ Battle Cat. Yes. Bringing it back. Dropping beats, man. I got a whole bunch of stuff for you, but right now I got him on the line with us, my main man, Scotty. Beam him up, Webb, East Coast Sports Investors. I should still have Jeff there with me. Scotty, good morning. How you doing, brother?
Hey, brother, I'm doing awesome, and glad to be on with you again today.
I'm so glad to have you. You guys can definitely check us out each and every Sunday and Saturday as well, early in the morning, 6 a.m. to 7 a.m. on the West Coast. East Coast, 9 to 10, KSHP 107.1 and AM 1400, KSHP.com. I want to give a shout-out again to my main man, Mark Hayes. Host of the world-famous shopping show, Deals for Less. Hooked us up with some of those tickets yesterday, and again, we saw our running Rebels here in Las Vegas. UNLV, fight. That's what they did, taking down the Commodores. Didn't need overtime. And all you guys that were sitting over in the stands with me, you know JB the Ticket told you the grease. Broke down the game for you. Told you what the plays were. You saw me shooting signals to people on the sideline. You already know what time it is. I'm giving you grease. But now we are talking some NFL. So I want to get into this game here, Jeff, because it's very interesting. One of the first games on the list, and you're down in Tampa Bay talking about rotation number 272, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, minus 2.5. You guys got Baker Mayfield out there telling people, get your weight up. Minus 145 on the money line today, going up against the Chicago Bears and Justin Fields, plus 2.5. Rotation number 271, the Chicago Bears, plus 125 on the money line. Total in this game, over and under, is 40.5. Where do you think this one is going to go, Jeff? Because if it goes like it does last week, we know Baker Mayfield, he's got that ability to will these guys to a win. And again, at 2.5, it's really 3. Very good price for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Go ahead.
Well, what's the shocker was... Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead, Scotty. Go ahead, Scotty. You guys were like a crash here in Las Vegas on the corner of Sahara and Fort Apache. But go ahead, Scotty.
Yeah, it's all right. So I think what you're looking at here is one of these spots where, Chicago actually opened up as a look-ahead favorite, and then they opened up as a favorite. So then now all of a sudden you got Tampa Bay as the favorite. So the market says, hey, Tampa Bay's the better team. And then when I start breaking it down and looking at stuff, this is a bad matchup for Chicago. I think Chicago was in a spot last week where, there was more expected of them. And, they played Green Bay. And I think people thought that, without Aaron Rodgers, that Chicago was going to do pretty well. And turns out that they're the same Bears. I mean, the offense is not that good. And when I say not that good, it's a bottom tier offense in all of National Football League. So I think that Tampa Bay then went up to Minnesota. I think they surprised some people playing it against the Vikings. Saw the Vikings play pretty well against Philadelphia the other night. So I think what you're running into here is a spot where the market says, okay, well, Tampa Bay's probably a little better than what Chicago is at this point, and especially when you consider that if you want to beat, some of these NFL teams, they have a pretty decent defense. I'm not saying Tampa Bay's defense is elite, but it's pretty decent. I think you got to figure out how to score points, and that's one thing Chicago can't do. So I like the idea here that Chicago's a little bit overmatched. I like the line move for the market. I think it's moved the right direction. 2.5 is probably the highest number that I would pay. I wouldn't go over 3.
Now, you are talking to my main man, Scotty. Beat him up, Webb, East Coast Sports Investors, MLB-daily.com. Follow him over on the Bird at Webby20MLB. Jeff, I know you were chomping at the bit to get into this game. This is one of those games where I like that the value is right where it needs to be. And you mentioned, Scotty, that the game flipped from Chicago favorite to now being road dog. So going over to Jeff, how do you think that, again, is going to affect the market today for people running up to the window late? If it was my money, I like Tampa Bay. That minus 2.5, they should be able to get it. And, again, if you want to take a money line, that minus 145 is a good price. But what say ye, Jeff? Go ahead.
Yeah, I always talk about the NFL, and it stands for not for long, and people remember what they saw last. And a nice upset win for Tampa in Minnesota, and now they come back for their home opener. No Tom Brady. Will they be firing the cannons, as they say back there? Or Chicago, who just absolutely laid an egg. And I remember like it was yesterday, Justin Fields' biggest game was on a primetime spot in Foxborough against my Patriots. I just think Chicago is just, again, their offensive line is just so bad right now. And they did bring in DJ Moore. They got a two-headed monster with Johnson and Herbert. Work in progress. You know what? I think it's a true coin flip. I'll say it this way, JB and Scott. The team that wins the turnover battle, the team that makes the least mistakes today will win. So whether it's Baker or Justin, but I think it is a live dog, but I definitely could see the Bucs here today, JB.
I like your take on that. Whoever makes the less mistakes, we know Justin Fields is a pick monster. Moving along down the list to another game that we have here. Let's talk a little bit about them. The Detroit Lions. Now, this is a rare occasion where they are the favorites. Again, they beat Kansas City. You're talking about getting into a situation where you fall in love with what you saw last week, but it can change 7 days later. Rotation number 270. The Detroit Lions poised to take over in their division, but again, you got Green Bay still kicking around with Jordan Love. Minus 4.5, minus 197. Total is 47. Seattle Seahawks coming to town. People are still acting like you got the Legion of Boom. Acting like you got prime Russell Wilson back there. Plus 4.5, plus 167. Some weird money lines today I think this could be one of those trap games. But again, I'll send this one over to you, Scotty. Do you think Detroit is in a situation where they have to also win? May not cover the spread, win by one, lose by none, but that's kind of expensive at minus 197 for a Detroit Lions team that, again, not too sold on them yet. But again, should be a dog. Go ahead.
Yeah, I think this is an interesting situation here because, Seattle's a playoff team from a year ago. Detroit's one of those teams that everybody wants to pull for. They're a very public team. And the look ahead number was 3. It opened at 2.5. Now it's all the way up to 4.5. So I think there's money coming in, obviously, on Detroit in the spots here. But my thoughts here is that when you one of the playoffs of what Jeff just said, when you look at what happened last week, and then you look at kind of what to think about this week, here's a number for you. So since 2010, any team in the NFL that's lost by double digits in the opener, they've gone 51-33 against the spread. So that's 61% in week 2. So the Seahawks are in that spot. And another interesting spot here is, you've got a seasoned head coach in Pete Carroll that's been in these spots before. I think that you look at what kind of thing he faces here, and Pete Carroll's 8-3 as a dog with the Seahawks facing an opponent off a straight up dog win. And 8-1 when they're fewer than 7 points, which they find themselves again today. And then when I looked at the injury report and started looking at this stuff, the Lions have 2 defensive backs and a defensive end that's questionable, and their offensive tackle Decker's not going to play. So I like the idea that Seattle's probably going to come in here and that 4.5 number is too big, and I'm going to take Seattle in the points.
Telling you to take the Seattle Seahawks in the points. Going to be taking a short commercial break with you guys. I want you both to stay on the line with me when we come back from the short commercial break. We're going to talk a little bit of baseball. I'm going to throw one more game in there with you. Got to talk about them. These are 2 turds in a bucket. I'm looking at them. I'm going to see which one goes down first. Talking about these kids over in Arizona today. The Arizona Cardinals, rotation number 280, plus 4.5, plus 175. Total under and over 39 and the hook. I hate to even go into it. New York Giants, road favorites, 4.5 after putting up a donut this past week against the Cowboys. Minus 4.5, minus 210. I don't like this. This has got trap game written all over it. I don't think anything good can happen for you. Jeff, I'll throw this one at you. Do you think the New York Giants actually get in the end zone or maybe make a field goal this week? Or are we going to see these guys possibly put together a dirty dozen? Go ahead.
Yeah, a team that lost 40-0, a game that was over in the first 6 minutes. Dallas defense just owned them. Now you got to travel to the desert. It does smell like a trap. A 38, 39.5 now. First one to 24. Actually, probably even less than that. So how about this, JB? 2017 is your final. Flip a coin and see who wins. How's that?
That's what I'm telling you. Like I said, 2 turds in a bucket. See which one goes down first. Scotty, I'll let you jump in on this. 30 seconds, and we'll take this short commercial break. Go ahead.
Yeah, I think you can see a bounce back here for the Giants. I think they're just a better football team.
Get to work.
And I think that they go back to that same synopsis we just talked about. That's a team that got blown out the following first week. Arizona's not able to win hardly any games all season. So I like the Giants.
He's telling you to take the New York Giants. I'm staying off of this game. Like I said, guys, this one is a trap. 2 turds in the bucket. I can't do it. When they come back from the short commercial break, we're going to jump into a little bit of Major League Baseball picks. You guys keep it locked. JB the Ticket and Vegas Scoreboard Express with my guys from the EastCoast Sports Investors. Let's get the money.
You're listening to the boss of the big board, JB the Ticket.
Vegas Scoreboard Express, Saturday and Sunday morning at 6 on KSHP North Las Vegas, FM, AM, KQ96HP North Las Vegas, and KSHP.com.
Kick off the football season with Drizzly.com. Score big with your favorite drinks delivered right to your doorstep. From ice cold brews to game day cocktails, we've got the perfect lineup for your football gatherings. Visit VegasScoreboardExpress.com and click the Drizzly. Now let's get the party started. Drink responsibly. Must be of legal drinking age. Delivery and availability may vary.
Welcome to Hash House A Go-Go, where we've been serving farm food and crafted cocktails for over 2 decades. Visit us for the full Hash House experience at any of our 5 Las Vegas locations. Hash House A Go-Go is where old school meets new and gets twisted. We bring people together over good food and fun. Come in for breakfast, lunch, or dinner, and come hungry because our portions are huge. Visit us online to see our entire menu at hashhouseagogo.com. Hash House A Go-Go. It's a Midwest thing, and there's nothing else like it.
Last time that I checked, it was 5 chains on my neck.
You're listening to the boss of the big ball.
I was selling zones in the set.
JBTHETICKET.
Waking you up early in the morning, JB the Ticket, Vegas Scoreboard Express. Shout out, rest in peace, Nipsey Hussle. 50 years of hip-hop. Giving you some of that West Coast grease, waking you up early in the morning here, KSHP 107.1 and AM 1400. Jeff Dawson and Scotty Beam 'em up Webb, East Coast Sports Investors. Good morning to you guys. Want to talk a little bit of baseball before we get out of here. Scotty, you know this is your lineup. I want to go ahead and jump right into the picks. Rotation number 913, the Tampa Bay Rays on the road up to the Baltimore Orioles, who have had a resurgent season. Baltimore, total record 92-56, 44-30 at home. And they're going up against Tampa Bay, again, one of the best teams in baseball over the last decade. At 92-58. Solid road record at 42-33. They've got Zach Lytle on the line. And for Baltimore, it's going to be Dean Kremer. So, Scotty, tell me where you think the money's going to be at today. The total in this game is 9. You got Baltimore at minus 119. And I've seen it at all the way up to minus 125, but Tampa Bay is in a dog position at plus 105. You know, I like when you got the Tampa Bay Rays in a dog position. I think there's value. Go ahead.
Well, I don't know that I can sit here and say, well, we want to back the dog here because, you know, Lytle's one of those guys that was a former relief pitcher that they've stretched him into a starter out of need. But Dean Kremer is probably one of the worst Baltimore pitchers that they have. He's not, you know, he's not a dud pitcher. He's an average guy. But you know, so this is 2 average pitchers pitching against each other with 2 pretty good offenses. So I'm more apt to think that, you know, this game's going to be one of those, you know, more run scoring kind of games. I think you can play this game over.
Take the total over the 9. Jeff Dawson, you still there with me? Go ahead.
Yes, I am, JB.
Yes, go ahead. Your thoughts on this game. Baltimore, Dean Kremer, Scotty just told you, very average pitching here. Could be a lot of runs scored. What are your thoughts on this one? Go ahead.
Well, I like where his eyes are, especially in this. But again, a series of 4 games. Tampa won the first 2. Yesterday, Orioles bounced back. Grayson Rodriguez is probably his best game in his career as an Oriole. I like the Orioles to win this game, to even out the series, and to take that 1-game lead as they head to the final last 2 weeks of baseball.
Moving down the line, rotation number 915, talking about your Boston Red Sox you guys are actually in the dog position today. Only got 30% of the bet on you. Plus 120, you've got Nick Pivetta on the line going up against the Toronto Blue Jays, rotation number 916, minus 142. They've got Hyun-Jin Ryu on the mound. What say ye, Jeff? Do you think that the Boston Red Sox, who just had a little bit of a disappointing season, a game under 500 at this point, I don't know how many games they're out of a wild card spot, but 74-75 going up against a team that has been very, very respectable, 82-67, the Toronto Blue Jays. Do you think Ryu can hold them down for that minus 142, or can Nick Pivetta get some of that old magic back for you? Go ahead.
I want to personally thank our good friend here, Mr. Scotty Webb, for giving the Red Sox the wrong bloom he didn't blossom. He, let's just say he has left the building. So I want to thank him for that. Yeah, a disappointing season for our Red Sox here. They're just playing out the string. More of a must-win for Toronto to keep their playoff alive. I think it goes over the 8.5, Scotty. I don't trust either pitcher here.
Scotty, your thoughts. Go ahead. Pivetta or Ryu?
Well, I think that you might want to stick with the Blue Jays here, even though the Blue Jays offense hasn't been anything major. But just looking at numbers with Pivetta, he's been hit a little bit against Toronto. So I think that you can look at it, and I like what Jeff said. The over looks good too. So, but I think it means more, and it has to. Toronto has to win this game.
Telling you right now, take the Toronto Blue Jays. Guys, we got about 2 minutes left, and I want to thank you so much for stopping by the big board today. I want to round out the baseball pick with another one of Scotty's favorites, and they proved to be one of the best teams in baseball. Scotty told you early on when did I have you on, Scotty? Almost in early June, right? You were talking about these guys, the Atlanta Braves. Rotation number 901, minus 135. They got Charlie Morton out there today going up against the Miami Marlins. Rotation number 902. They fired Derek Jeter a couple years ago. 77 and 72. Couple of games over 500. I don't think they're fighting for too much. They've got Jesus Luzardo on the mound. Scotty, I'll let it go to you. Jeff, if you got any thoughts, guys, I'll give you 30 seconds apiece. Go ahead.
Well, at this stage in the game, it's kind of hard to be betting Braves because they don't have a lot to be playing for. So that doesn't mean that I'm going to go back and support Miami either. Luzardo's off of a bad start. Usually means he's probably going to pitch pretty good. Charlie Morton has had great success against the Marlins this whole time. So it's a very difficult game to handicap here, but you're not getting a bad number on Charlie Morton at minus 130, 135. I'll take the Braves.
Yep, he likes the Braves in this one, Charlie Morton. Jeff, 30 seconds. Go ahead.
Yeah, I agree with everything what Scotty said. I mean, when you ever bet against the Braves, you look up in the fourth inning and they're up 8-0. It's really tough to step in front of them. Miami playing out the string. It looks like a Miami Marlin number to me with Luzardo, as Scotty said, on a bounce back. So if I had to play this game, I would lean the dog here plus the 124.
Telling you where to take that money. Thank you guys so much for stopping by the big board today. Again, Jeff Dawson, East Coast Sports Investors. Want to give a shout out to my guys, Ron Third Down Best Bets. He is still on a vacation, taking that sabbatical. Thank you so much for all the work you did, man. That guy worked about a year straight. Want to give a shout out to Naeem the Dream, Philadelphia's finest. Also want to give a shout out to my main man over at the Soul City Wrestling. These guys are going all the way up. Linwood, Hard Rock, Hamilton, Defender of the Youth, Philadelphia Eagle, former Edmonton Elk. We're going to be bringing you back on the show with us. Again, thank you guys so much for stopping by the big board each and every Saturday and Sunday. You guys can rock with me. Jeff, Scotty, thank you so much. Everybody out here in Las Vegas, thank you so much. All the UNLV fans that were out at the game yesterday sitting with JB the Ticket Live, thank you so much for your love and support. Any shout-outs before we get out of here, guys? I'll give you about 5 seconds apiece. Go ahead.
I'll give a quick shout-out to Anthony Pepe at Food Truck Festivals. Happy belated birthday.
There you go. Happy belated birthday to you. Scotty, go ahead.
Yeah, I just want to make sure to say thank you to Hurricane Lee that went away and never really did a whole lot to the East Coast up there. So good fortune.
Good fortune it is, and it's good fortune that you guys are listening with us. JB the Ticket and Vegas Scoreboard Express. I'm getting out of here. You know what time it is. Let's get that money.